Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our online quiz where nothing is made up and the points do matter. I'm your host, Eric Dewey, and we are happy to have you with us. I'm going to run us through the ground rules of how this is going to work so that you understand what we're doing if you've never done a quiz this way before. Let's start explaining how to play. First, you need to watch live. If you are watching me say these words right now, you're watching live. Congratulations, you've already accomplished step one. Step two, which hopefully you've already done, is to gather your team. If you don't have a team, that's all right. You can play along all the same. Question three, not question three, we'll get to the questions. Item three is the captain of your team. You need to designate one person as captain who is going to answer the questions for you. You are going to do this on a Google form. This will allow us to have everybody submit the form at the very end of the quiz, and then while we go through the answers, my lovely assistant will be computating. The form will do most of it on the side so that we can announce the winners of the quiz live with you yet this evening. We don't have to get back to you later on that. So you will, if you've not already, find the Google form link that should be pinned at the top of the chat, either on YouTube or Facebook, however you are watching. You will take that link, go to that form. You're going to fill in your email so that we can contact you for prizes if you win. You are going to fill out your name so I know who I'm actually emailing, and you're going to fill out your team name. And it was slightly more appropriate to say this at the rugby quiz I hosted last night, but please keep team names appropriate because this is a family-friendly event. All right. Hopefully your team captain is on top of that, understands what they're doing. Again, you will submit that first part of the form. It will then take you to the second part where you will answer all the questions of all 4 rounds of the quiz. And when we get to the very end, you will click submit when I tell you to. Some things you need to know about filling in the form. All your answers must be spelled correctly. Spelling matters. It's what allows us to grade the quiz automatically because all the answers have been preset in there. Spelling matters. You need to spell it correctly, and punctuation can matter. Now, we've entered in a variety of ways that you may end up punctuating some of your answers, but the surefire way to ensure that your capitalization is correct is to use all caps. Every answer spelled correctly has been inputted in all caps. So if you use your cap lock on, leave it on for the whole quiz, you shouldn't have an issue with mistyping and getting a question wrong that you may have got right. A few of our other rules. Please don't cheat. This is an online quiz. You're not in the room. We can't yell at you to put away your phones. Hopefully you are on them watching this and you can't use them to Google. Do not Google. Do not cheat. No posting answers in the chat. No posting non-answers in the chat. For those high in deductive reasoning, you will be helping the other team. What are our prizes tonight? Stay tuned to find out and we will tell you soon. Round one. Let's dig into it. Shocking, not shocking. Round one is food. I wrote this quiz. Well, I wrote parts of this quiz, and I thought the first round that we should do is food. Why? Because I love it, and I think we should answer some questions about it. Here we go. Round one, question one. Let's get after it. What milk product did the U.S. Agricultural Department propose as a substitute for meat in school lunches in 1996? They will not all be this hard, but there's some clues in the question. What milk product did the U.S. Agricultural Department propose as a substitute for meat in school lunches in 1996? We're going to give you roughly 30 seconds from the beginning of each question for each question in this round. What milk product did the U.S. Agricultural Department propose as a substitute for meat in school lunches in 1996? That's question one. On to question two. Question two, on what vegetable did an ancient Egyptian place his right hand when taking an oath? On what vegetable did an ancient Egyptian place his right hand when taking an oath? On what vegetable did an ancient Egyptian place his right hand when taking an oath? Hope you have an answer. We're moving on. Question 3, round 1. Black-eyed peas are not peas. What are they? Black-eyed peas are not peas. What are they? Here we go on to question 4. Question 4, round 1. What European nation consumes more spicy Mexican food than any other? What European nation consumes more spicy Mexican food than any other? Question 5. Question 5. What was margarine called when it was first marketed in England? What was margarine called when it was first marketed in England? Some watching this quiz may be old enough to remember when margarine first crossed the Atlantic. Margarine, I'm being corrected by the English person running the cameras. Thanks, Tim. What was margarine called when it was first marketed in England? That's question 5. Here's question 6. What is the top selling spice in the world? What is the top selling spice in the world? We're not going to spend too long there. Don't think there's too many options for what the top seller could be. So we're going to move on. Question 7. What is the most widely eaten fish in the world? What is the most widely eaten fish in the world? And we are think common. What is the most commonly eaten fish? Not a literal wide fish. What is the most commonly eaten fish in the world? Here's a fun one if we've got any Italian speakers. Question 8. What is the literal meaning of the Italian word linguine? What is the literal meaning of the Italian word linguine? Question number 9. Question 9. What is the only essential vitamin not found in a white potato? What is the only essential vitamin not found in a white potato? potato. You probably didn't know white potatoes were that nutritionally dense. It's because we like to eat them fried. What is the only essential vitamin not found in the white potato? Question 10 now. Question 10. If you found this difficult so far, hopefully you can get this one right. When dried, what fruit is called a prune? When it's dried, what fruit is called a prune? Right, we are 10 questions into a 15 question round. Last 5 questions. Question 11, round 1. What common ingredient in bagels and other baked goods can cause positive drug tests? What common ingredient in bagels and other baked goods can cause positive drug tests? I do hope you get this one right, Keith. Here we go. On to question 12. Question 12. The name of what other fruit is used to describe a very small round tomato? I've got to give Tim a look every time I say a word the British way. It's a good thing there's no questions about oregano, oregano, basil. We could do an entire comedy sketch on the American versus English language. Just based on food. Just based on food. Right, the name of what other fruit is used to describe a very small round tomato? Hope you've figured it out. Question 13. How is a dish of meat and seafood often described on a menu? How is a dish of meat and seafood often described on a menu? I am normally a very, very big fan of this menu item. One of my favorites in whatever form it tends to take. How is a dish of meat and seafood often described on a menu? Last 2 questions of this round. Question 14. What berry can whiten your teeth? What berry is capable of whitening your teeth? Remember, spelling matters in all of this. Have your caps locks on. You don't want to get wrong something you got right. We ran a quiz last night for my rugby club, and there were plenty of people who did shockingly, mainly because they couldn't spell. Here we go. Final question of this food round, round 1, question 15. What cheese traditionally tops a pizza? What cheese traditionally tops a pizza? All right, hopefully it is big enough for you to read. Here are all 15 questions, again listed here on the screen. Hopefully without my face so you can see it, everything. Well done, Tim. One of the times I ran one of these quizzes, I forgot to delete one of the answers after the question, so I was very nervously just reading. I have not done that in this case. Hopefully that's giving you one last look at any questions that you were questioning the answer to and needed another go at. Again, you're not submitting your form until we're all the way done with the quiz. Hopefully you have filled in all 15 questions with an answer of some kind. That is the end of round one. Here we go, round one. Break in between rounds 1 and 2. We're announcing our prize. Shocking that we would consider using Tatsa to give away our prizes. We are, in fact, above Tatsa Coffee here on Sutton High Street as we speak. And the prize is every team member will get a free drink of their choice at Tatsa Coffee as soon as you can get there after we've reopened when lockdown is lifted. I would recommend any of them because I like food and I like coffee and I like Tatsa. All three things, good things. All right, we're gonna move straight in to round 2, which is the country emoji rounds. So how this is gonna work, you are going to see images that are emojis, and they are going to interpret into the name of a country. So let's give you an example. Example 1, we have a piece of fruit and a kangaroo or a marsupial, but fruit marsupial doesn't really sound much like any country, does it? But if we look at it and we go more specific, we go, okay, that's a pear and that's a kangaroo, and the Aussies call kangaroos roos. So I take pear and roo. PERU. PERU would be the answer to that clue. Now, if you've gotten tired of hearing my voice already, congratulations. This round is a bit of a break from me. It will mostly be moving on to the next emoji question. We're going to give you roughly a minute for each of these because they can be a little bit more difficult. Something you've got to figure out, not just an answer you know or don't know. Here is question 1, round 2. Remember, spelling, capitalization. Big things on the form. Good luck, captains. Round 2, question 1. What country do these emojis represent? Here we go, question 2. Question 2. What country do these emojis represent? Question 3. Question 3. What country do these emojis represent? Question 4. Here's question 4. Question 5. We're moving on. Question 5. Here you go. Ten questions. We're halfway. Here's on 6. Question 6. Question 7. Question number 7. Countries and emojis. Figure it out. Question 8. Question number 8. Only 2 left after this in this round. Question 8. Question 9. Here is question 9. Final question of the round. Final question of the round. Question number 10. What country is this? That is the end of round 2. That's the end of round 2. We are going to take a little bit of a halftime break. We are 2 rounds down. We have 2 rounds to go. I wanted to take a minute to tell you a little bit about an initiative that we've started as a church. We've launched a new charity called Creating Hope. And one of the things that we are hoping to do through this is impact our community in positive ways. Our Christians Against Poverty initiatives fall under Creating Hope, but we've also are starting a new thing to help people understand their own mental health. It is called Kintsugi Hope. We've got a short little promo video for you that you can watch to learn a bit more about it, as we are currently running groups and we're going to be running more groups in the future. Take a minute, watch this video. We are going to then go on a little break and we will be right back. If you need to relaunch your Zoom room, if you're on a 40-minute cap, that's fine.
Life can feel like a game of Tetris. No matter what you do, sometimes the blocks don't line up. Days spent trying to keep all the plates spinning, but sometimes it's just one plate too many. Or perhaps you're giving out of an empty cup. Life can feel like a game of Tetris. No matter what you do, sometimes the blocks don't line up. Days spent trying to keep all the plates spinning, but sometimes it's just one plate too many. Or perhaps you're giving out of an empty cup. Some of us invest in our physical well-being. Why not invest in your mental and emotional well-being? We can all feel broken, but we can all discover treasure in life's scars. Join a Kintsugi Hope Wellbeing group.
We are back after halftime. We apologize for the slight hiccup there. We were so focused on the fact that I realized I have left a question out of this round on the PowerPoint that I needed to scramble to make sure that the question was in fact in the quiz. So one of the questions this round, you are going to have to just listen to me instead of read it. We are on to round 3, which is a fact or fiction round. I'm going to make a statement. You have to decide whether it is fact, true, or fiction, false. You should only have those two options to pick in the Google form. So we are going to move pretty quick through this round as you've got a 50-50 shot as it is. Round 3, question 1. Cork is waterproof. Fact or fiction that cork is waterproof? Cork is waterproof. Fact or fiction? Lock in your answer. Here's question 2. Dracula was the first movie made about a vampire. Dracula was the first movie made about a vampire. Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Fact or fiction, polar bears hibernate in the winter. Polar bears hibernate in the winter. Fact or fiction? Question 4. Round 3, question 4. Fact or fiction, reptiles do not dream. Reptiles do not dream. Is that a fact or is that fiction? Fact or fiction? Number 5, the computer term bit is short for binary digit. The computer term bit is short for binary digit. Fact or fiction? On to number 6, fact or fiction, pigeons are born blind. Fact or fiction, pigeons are born blind. Question 7, fact or fiction, some spiders are herbivores. Is that fact or fiction that some spiders are herbivores? Question 8, fact or fiction, human saliva can turn starch into sugar. Human saliva can turn starch into sugar. Fact or fiction? Question 9, fact or fiction, alpha waves are faster than beta waves. If I didn't write the quiz, I would not know the answer to this question. Fact or fiction, alpha waves are faster than beta waves. This is a 20-round question, so we are going to be halfway through after this one. Question 10. Donald Duck's middle name is Fauntleroy. Is that a fact or fiction? Question 11. Question 11, round 3. Fact or fiction, brown bears can run as fast as 39 miles per hour. Fact or fiction, brown bears can run as fast as 39 miles per hour. Question 12. Question 12. Fact or fiction, flies have red blood. Is that fact or fiction that flies have red blood? Fact or fiction, flies have red blood. That's question 12. Now, question 13 is the question that I have forgotten to put into the PowerPoint, but I have checked the form, and there is a question 13, round 3, and it does have the correct answer logged. So I need you to listen clearly. Fact or fiction, a photoreceptor detects light. Fact or fiction, a photoreceptor detects light. A photoreceptor detects light. Fact or fiction? That's question 13. We are on to question 14. All crustaceans are aquatic animals. Fact or fiction? That all crustaceans are aquatic animals. Question 15. Fact or fiction? Crux, the Southern Cross, is the smallest constellation in the sky. Fact or fiction? Crux, the Southern Cross, is the smallest constellation in the sky. Question 16. Question 16. Fact or fiction? False teeth existed in Europe more than 2,000 years ago. Fact or fiction? False teeth existed in Europe more than 2,000 years ago. Entering the final stretch of round 3, 17 to 20 left. Here's number 17. Fact or fiction? The ancient Romans invented the flushing toilet. Is that fact or fiction? Question 18. Fact or fiction? Actor James Dean starred in just 3 films. Fact or fiction? Actor James Dean starred in just 3 films. Question 19. Fact or fiction? Insect blood is blue. Is that fact or fiction that insect blood is blue? Final question of round 3, question 20. Fact or fiction? Crickets have their ears on their legs. Fact or fiction, crickets have their ears on their legs? All right, I do not have a slide with them all queued up, but I'm going to read them all again in order. Again, the only two answers can be fact or fiction. Round 3, question 1 was, cork is waterproof. 2, Dracula was the first movie about a vampire. 3, polar bears hibernate in the winter. 4, reptiles do not dream. 5, the computer term bit is short for binary digit. 6, pigeons are born blind. 7, some spiders are herbivores. 8, human saliva can turn starch into sugar. 9, alpha waves are faster than beta waves. 10, Donald Duck's middle name is Fauntleroy. 11, brown bears can run as fast as 39 miles per hour. 12, flies have red blood. 13, a photoreceptor detects light. 14, all crustaceans are aquatic animals. 15, Crux, the Southern Cross, is the smallest constellation in the sky. 16, false teeth existed in Europe more than 2,000 years ago. 17, the ancient Romans invented the flushing toilet. 18, actor James Dean starred in just 3 films. 19, insect blood is blue. Insect blood is blue. And 20, crickets have their ears on their legs. There were only 2 options for every question, so hopefully you locked in an answer for all of them, because you got a 50-50 chance at being right. That brings us to the end of round 3. We're going to change cameras because we can. Why not? I'm going to talk to you over here now. And we're going to pull up a slide because we can. For those of you who may not recognize my face or know of us as a church, we are C3 United Life, and we are very happy to be hosting this quiz for you this evening. You are more than welcome to join us on any Sunday. We have been live streaming all through lockdown. If you're watching this, you know where to watch, either on our Facebook or on our YouTube through our page. We stream live every Sunday, 10:30 in the morning. When we are able to go back in person and gather, we will be at Bourne Hall in Ewell at 10:30 on Sundays. And in the evening, we will be here on Sutton High Street in Tatsacoffee at 5 p.m. We would love to see you any or every Sunday. Right, back to the other camera. On to round 4. Round 4 is going to be our general knowledge round. You are going to have to know some answers. Your captain, as they have been the whole time, is going to type in those answers correctly spelled, hopefully with correct capitalization, or, to be safe, caps lock on. 20 questions in this round. Final round of the quiz. Question 1, round 4. What is the national flower of Japan? What is the national flower of Japan? Final round, first question. Question 2. We're moving on. Question 2. Round 4. Until 1923, what was the Turkish city of Istanbul called? Until 1923, what was the Turkish city of Istanbul called? Until 1923, what was the Turkish city of Istanbul called? Question 3. Question 3. What country has the most islands in the world? What country has the most islands in the world? Let's move on to question 4. Question 4. Spelling matters. Lots of people have gotten this wrong on spelling before. Which artist painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? And no, you can't Google it just to make sure you got the spelling right. You're just going to have to get it right. Which artist painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? Which artist painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? That was question 4. Question 5. Name Pixar's first feature-length movie from 1995. What was Pixar's first feature-length movie from 1995? I remember when this came out, and now we would call it an oldie but a goodie. Name Pixar's first feature-length film from 1995. Question 6. And I will preface it before I even change it because it caused some drama last night. This is a feature-length film again. Name Disney's first feature-length film. Your clue is that it came out in 1937, so I don't remember when that one came out. It came out in 1937. Name Disney's first feature-length film. Question 7. We're moving on to question 7. A maca, or as I would say mocha, is a coffee flavored with what? It's funny how all the food ones are the major differences in how we would say it this evening. A maca, or a mocha, is a coffee flavored with what? If you've spent any time in Tatsa Coffee, I hope you know the answer to this. Here we go. Question 8. Question 8, round 4. Which classical musician outsold Beyonce, Adele, and Drake in CD purchases in 2016? Now, I did have some people type in some answers on this last night, and they gave me the person's full name, but like most classical musicians, we want their one-word name like they're known, just like Beyonce, Adele, and Drake. Use this person's main name, one-word name that you may know them as. Which classical musician outsold Beyonce, Adele, and Drake in CD purchases in 2016? Question 9. Moving on to question 9. Which is the largest of the Canary Islands? Which is the largest of the Canary Islands? And we can only hope for the day that we might actually be able to go visit it. Question 10 puts us to the halfway point in the final round. Question 10. Which type of nut is found in the middle of a Ferrero Rocher? Which type of nut is found in the middle of a Ferrero Rocher? Question 11. What name is given to a baby rabbit? And we don't mean Peter, we mean what is a baby rabbit called? What name is given to a baby rabbit? What name is given to a baby rabbit? On to question 12 we go. What is the name of the largest desert in the world? What is the name of the largest desert in the world? And please, in your answer, I'm going to help you out. Make sure you type the word desert. The what desert, and include the word desert when you type the answer. Question 13. What does IPA stand for? What does IPA stand for? What does IPA stand for? Question 14. Which band recorded the Friends theme song, I'll Be There For You? Which band recorded the Friends theme song, I'll Be There For You? Rumor has it, when Charmaine goes on Instagram Live tomorrow, she's going to be playing this for us. And by rumor, I mean I started the rumor. You should ask her to play it live for you on Instagram after church tomorrow. Question 14. Which band recorded the Friends theme song, I'll Be There For You? Question 15. We're nearing the end. Question 15. Which UK city is also known as the Potteries? Which UK city is also known as the Potteries? And for those inquiring to me on my phone, they're wondering who I'm texting. My IT department. It's all behind the scenes stuff that you don't know is going on, that we're figuring out as we go. Which UK city is also known as the Potteries? Question 16. The River Nile flows through Egypt and what other country? And as I took some grief for this yesterday, the answer to this question, predominantly what other country? Predominantly what other country does the River Nile flow through other than Egypt? Question 17. Final 4 questions. Question 17. Which British bank dates back to 1690, predating the Bank of England by 4 years? Your hint on this one is there is more than one bank that dates back prior to the origination of the Bank of England, but we're looking for the one that dates back to 1690. Which British bank dates back to 1690? Give me your one-word answer on this. We don't need to know we know it's a bank. Which bank? By name. One-word answer, which is a clue. Which British bank dates back to 1690, predating the Bank of England by 4 years? Question 18. Question 18. In 1918, Finland declared its independence from which country? In 1918, Finland declared its independence from which country? In 1918, Finland declared its independence from which country? Question 19. Last 2 questions of the entire quiz. Question 19. What is the oldest remaining palace in London? What is the oldest remaining palace in London? final question. The second to last question, because we do have the tiebreaker question after this. Final question. Question 20, round 4. Which city was the capital of the United States before Washington, D.C.? And to specify, we mean immediately before. There were multiple cities that operated as the capital until Washington, D.C. came into operation. But which city was the capital immediately before Washington, D.C. was? Which city was the capital of the United States before Washington, D.C.? That is the last question in the quiz, nearly. But before we go to the tiebreaker, on the screen, you've got all the questions, well, the first half of the questions from round 4 to review, just in case there were any you were unsure of that you want to take a second look at. We're going to give you about 15 seconds looking at these. We'll then go to the rest, and we'll move on after that to the tiebreaker. And Tim, I will need the video down for the next slide so they can see everything. Thank you. Here we go, next slide. All right, we are now going to move on to our tiebreaker question. Our tiebreaker question is important because what if there's a tie? So this question, if you're magic, you might be able to guess it right. But this question, we're going to find out later which country has the most islands in the world. But the country which does have the most islands in the world has how many? Whoever gets the closest answer to the number that you will enter, don't type it out, literally just use numbers to put in the number you think the answer to this question is. Whoever is closest to the actual number, in the case of a tie, will gain dominance in that situation for the rankings to see who wins the quiz. The country which does have the most islands in the world has how many islands? Make your best guess, because we are now going to be done. You need to review everything quickly. You need to then submit your answers. You need to, if you are the team captain and you are filling out these forms, you need to submit your answers now. What we're going to do is we're going to show you a brief clip promoting Tatsa Coffee, which we again love dearly. You have until the end of that video to submit your answers. For those not submitting answers, watch and enjoy, and wait for the day where you can have a lovely latte again. that is it. If you have not submitted your answers, you are going to lose out. Hopefully you have finalized your form and sent it in. We will be closing it so that you can't submit answers anymore. And while I take you through the answers, my lovely assistant Libby is offsite with access to said form, and she will be computating our final rankings so that we can tell you who has won the quiz this evening and which team will all get any drink of their choice at Tatsa Coffee. Here we go. Round 1, answers. Round 1 was our food round. Question 1, what milk product did the U.S. Agricultural Department propose as a substitute for meat in school lunches in 1996? The answer to that was yogurt. Yogurt was the answer to question 1. Question 2, on what vegetable did an ancient Egyptian place his right hand when taking an oath? An onion. An onion, which was round and symbolized eternity, was the vegetable on which ancient Egyptians placed their right hands when taking an oath. Question 3. Black-eyed peas are not peas. What are they? They are beans. The answer is beans. Question 4. What European nation consumes more spicy Mexican food than any other? Would have been clueless on this one myself. If they take me into account, it's England. But I don't know if they've done that. It is actually Norway. Norway is the answer to question 4. Question 5. What was margarine called when it was first marketed in England? As tasty as it sounds, it was marketed as butterine. Butterine was the answer to number 5. Number 6, what is the top selling spice in the world? Some were thinking it's salt, but it is in fact pepper. Pepper is the number 1 top selling spice in the world. Number 7, what is the most widely eaten fish in the world? The answer is herring. Herring is the most widely eaten fish in the world. For any Italian speakers out there, they would have loved question 8. What is the literal meaning of the Italian word linguini? It is little tongues. Little tongues is the literal meaning of linguini. Question 9. What is the only essential vitamin not found in a white potato? It is vitamin A. Vitamin A is the answer to question 9. Question 10. When dried, what fruit is called a prune? And that would be a plum. Plums, when dried, are called prunes. Question 11. What common ingredient in bagels and other baking goods can cause a positive drug test because it falls into the opium family? Poppy seeds can, in fact, cause positive drug tests. So don't go crazy on your lemon poppy seed cake. At least not when you're trying to get a job. Question 12. Question 12. Name the name of what other fruit is used to describe very small and round tomatoes. The answer is cherry. Cherry tomatoes. Question 13. How is a dish of meat and seafood often described on a menu that would be surf and turf? Surf and turf. Give me steak and lobster and prawns and deliciousness all day. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Question 14. Which berry can whiten your teeth? Which berry can whiten your teeth? That is, shockingly, a strawberry. Strawberries capable of whitening our teeth. Who needs toothpaste? Question 15. What cheese traditionally tops a pizza? It would be mozzarella. Mozzarella is the answer to question 15. On to the emoji round. Which country is represented by these emojis? We've got a bell and a man working out, potentially in a gym, just not right now. You put together the two, and the answer to question 1 is Belgium. Question 2, emoji round. We've got wine sheep female. It is fortified wine, so that would be port. A female sheep is called a ewe, and that's just a good gal we've got there. Port, ewe, gal, Portugal is the answer to question 2. Question 3, I believe, is the easiest of these. It is a tongue and the letter A. Tonga is the answer to question 3. Question 4, we have a person speaking or saying something, and we have some shells. Seychelles put together. Seychelles is the answer to question 4. Question 5, you may have defaulted to look at the first thing and think virus because we have an awful lot of conversation about viruses right now, but you might have needed to think a little simpler and less specific. That is a germ. Germ, a leg. Again, think smaller. Knee. Germany. Germany is the answer to question 5. Question 6. This first emoji looks a little mad. The letter A. Someone has broken wind and passed gas. And then we have a car. You put them all together, we get Madagascar is the answer to question 6. Question 7. Boat cat ear. Or row. A lion has a mane, and that is an ear. Romania is the answer to question 7. Question 8. You use a frying pan to cook an egg. You have again the letter A, and that is a mother, or in this case ma. Panama is the answer to question 8. Question 9, that is it's not a drum of oil, it's just a can of oil, and that is a snake. The venomous one found here in England is known as an adder. Canada is the answer to question 9. Question 10, round 2, the answer to this. We've got a couple of horns. You put the horns together and you end up with a brass section, and that emoji looks like they're about to be ill. Brass ill, Brazil is the answer to question 10. Moving on to round 3. The answers for round 3. Fact or fiction. If you watch the screen, hopefully you've got the animations work right. The correct answer is going to wave at you, but I'm going to read it out as well. Fact or fiction. Cork is waterproof. That is a fact. Cork is in fact waterproof. Question 2. Dracula was the first movie about a vampire. That is fiction. The first movie about a vampire was not Dracula. Question 3. Polar bears hibernate in the winter. That is fiction. Polar bears are polar. It's winter all the time where they are, and, well, near enough. And they do not hibernate in the winter, or at all, if I'm correct. Question 4. Reptiles do not dream. That is a fact. Reptiles do not dream. They sleep and they don't dream at all. Unlike the goodest of dogs who dream and run in their sleep and chase things. If anybody can't tell, I really want a dog right now. Question 5. Question 5. The computer term bit is short for binary digit. That is a fact. It is a fact. That is what a bit stands for. Question 6. Pigeons are born blind. Fact. Pigeons are born blind. Question 7. Some spiders are herbivores. That is fiction. All spiders are carnivores. All spiders are carnivores. None of them are herbivores. Question 9. Alpha waves are faster than beta waves. That is a fact. Oh, I might have done the wrong animation. Hopefully I've got that right in the answers to the quiz. It's waved on fact. I think the answer on my sheet is that alpha waves are faster than beta waves is fiction. Did I skip one? Oh, I'm jumping to 9. We're on 8. That's why the animation was wrong. Silly me. Human saliva can turn starch into sugar. That is a fact. Human saliva can turn starch into sugar. If you've ever sat with a cracker in your mouth long enough for it to start breaking down, it starts getting sweet. Funny enough. I think you should give it a try next time you're sick and you're sat there sipping on flat fizzy drinks and eating crackers. Is that a thing in this country? Is that how you guys... No? Is that just me? All right. Question 9. Alpha waves are faster than beta waves. I do have the correct animation. It is fiction. I just jumped the gun. Question 10. Donald Duck. His middle name is Farloy. That is a fact. That's a fact. Donald Duck's middle name is Farloy. Question 11. Brown bears can run as fast as 39 miles per hour. That is a fact, which is why you have to do different things depending on the bear you encounter. If any of you ever decide to go to Canada, encounter a brown bear, play dead, don't run, you'll die. Question 12. Flies have red blood. That is fiction. Flies do not have red blood. Flies do not have red blood. That is fiction. Question 13. I again don't have in the slides. A photoreceptor detects light. That is a fact. That is what a photoreceptor does. It detects light. Question 13. The answer was fact. Question 14. All crustaceans are aquatic animals. That is fiction. That is false. Not true. Not all crustaceans are aquatic animals. Question 15. Crux, the Southern Cross, is the smallest constellation in the sky? It is, in fact, the smallest constellation in the sky. Question 16. False teeth existed in Europe more than 2,000 years ago. That is a fact. False teeth did exist in Europe more than 2,000 years ago. Question 17. The ancient Romans invented the flushing toilet. That is fiction. Not true. The flushing toilet did not come around till much later. Fun fact for if you ever want to come across this question on another quiz, Thomas Crapper was in fact one of the inventors of the flushing toilet. It is why our feces is sometimes called crap, because Thomas Crapper is what you'd go sit on a crapper. That was what the toilets were known as. Fun fact, added bonus. It's going to come up in a quiz some other time. I guarantee it. And once we can all go back to the pub, we will definitely be partaking in some quizzes, I am sure. Question 18. Fact or fiction? Actor James Dean starred in just 3 films. That is a fact. James Dean only starred in 3 films. Question 19. Insect blood is blue. That is fiction. Insect blood is not blue. And question 20, last question of the fact or fiction round. Crickets have their ears on their legs. Crickets have their ears on their legs. That is a fact. That is a fact. 3 rounds down, answers left. Just round 4. Round 4. Question 1, what's the national flower of Japan? The answer is the cherry blossom, or cherry blossom was also an acceptable answer. Question 2, until 1923, what was the Turkish city of Istanbul called? Constantinople. Constantinople was what Istanbul was called prior to 1923. Question 3. What country has the most islands in the world? It is in fact Sweden. Sweden has the most islands of all the countries in the world. Question 4. Which artist painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? Michelangelo. Michelangelo painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. If you ever get the chance to go see it, I recommend it. Just refrain from taking any photographs or you'll be seen into another room. Question 5. Name Pixar's first feature-length film from 1995. The answer to that is Toy Story. Toy Story was their first feature-length film. Disney's first feature-length film in 1937 was Snow White, or Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That came out a long time ago. Question 7. A mocha is a coffee flavored with what? That would be chocolate. Add a little chocolate to your coffee. Why not? The winners of this quiz will have the option of doing that, or just getting a hot chocolate, or an espresso, or a latte. Name your drink of choice, and it would be yours. Question 8. Which classical... Now, I've already been given grief about this question. Which classical musician... What we meant was composer. Which classical composer outsold Beyonce, Adele, Drake, and Drake in CD purchases in 2016? And the answer is Mozart. Mozart outsold all of them in CD purchases in 2016. Question 9. Which is the largest of the Canary Islands? That would be Tenerife. Tenerife is the largest of the Canary Islands. Question 10. The answer to which nut is found in the middle of a Ferrero Rocher is a hazelnut. It is a hazelnut. So if you would like very expensive chocolates, you can go eat a hazelnut covered in deliciousness. Question 11. What is the name given, or what name is given to a baby rabbit? The answer to that is a kit or a kitten. Both acceptable answers that you hopefully got right. Question 12. What is the name of the largest desert in the world? That is the Antarctic Desert. The Antarctic Desert is, in fact, the largest desert in the world. Question 13. What does IPA stand for? And that would be both acceptable answers, either India Pale Ale or Indian Pale Ale. Both acceptable answers to what IPA stands for. Question 14. Which band recorded the Friends theme song, I'll Be There For You? The answer to that is the Rembrandts. The Rembrandts were the band which recorded the song, I'll Be There For You. Question 15. Which UK city is also known as the Potteries? The answer to that, Stoke-on-Trent. Stoke-on-Trent. Question 16. Question 16, round 4. The River Nile flows through Egypt and what other country predominantly? The answer is Sudan. Sudan is the country that the Nile predominantly flows through aside from Egypt. Question 17. Which British bank dates back to 1690, predating the Bank of England by 4 years? That is, in fact, Barclays. Barclays Bank dates all the way back to 1690. Question 18. In 1918, Finland declared its independence from which country? Russia. Russia is the country from which Finland declared independence in 1918. Last two questions before we get to our tiebreaker. Question 19. What is the oldest remaining palace in London? It is lovely. I recommend you head over to Kingston and visit sometime. It is Hampton Court Palace. Hampton Court, or Hampton Court Palace, is the answer to question 19. Final question of the main quiz. Question 20. Which city was the capital of the United States before Washington, D.C.? That would be Philadelphia. The city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, was the US capital just before Washington, D.C.? Now, you may be wondering the answer to our tiebreaker question. The country which has the most islands in the world, which we now know as Sweden. Sweden has how many islands? The answer is 221,800. Right, let me just check my phone that I've already been ridiculed for texting, so that I can coordinate again with my IT department to find out who has won. We will, and I will state this, all I have here is the winner. What we'll do is we'll post the full results on our social media sometime tomorrow. But the winners tonight, Libby's laughing at the fact I'm calling her the IT department. The winners tonight, drum roll please. Oh, she's asking if I want the other results. Yes, I want the other results. We'll just give you full results right now. But I'm gonna tell you first the winners. I know the suspense is killing you. Their team name. I love this team name. The team name of the winners is Alexa. There's a question mark after it. Alexa is the team winners. That would be Susan and Sunil's team. Alexa are the team winners. If you hang on momentarily, I will try to get you the full rankings of how people have finished tonight. Libby is typing as we speak. If any of her friends are watching, I'm referring to Liz, because that's what she's known as in her work environments. Second place, we have the second SCVers. We're getting them one at a time. Third place, I thought this was speed dating. Oh, that's great. She's typing as fast as she can. I'm not actually sure how many teams we had. Fourth place was Team Mallet. Fifth place was Les Quizerables. I'm just used to saying Les Mis. We'll call them Les Quiz. All right, we're going to call it there. There are in fact 10 teams on tonight. We're just going to announce the top 5. We will post the rest on social media tomorrow. Top 5 teams again. 5th place, Les Quiz. 4th place, Team Mallet. 3rd place, I thought this was speed dating. 2nd place, SCVers. And 1st place, Alexa. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for the quiz. It has been lovely having you. We hope that we can do this again sometime, maybe in person. Thank you all. Again, feel free to join us tomorrow morning, 10:30, on this same feed for Church Online. We love you all. We hope you stay well. Thank you and good night.